Hey there, comic friends and fiends. It's Rob here in front of the Great Wall of Comics. And with me, of course, as always, my friend, my Canadian brother from another mother, who's not looking as hippie as he was earlier in the week, Chris the Comic Vet. Happy to have you here, sir. It's almost
Oh,
almost cleanly shaved.
well, I don't take a straight razor to my head. I always use clippers. So I don't
Okay.
have the balls that you do, I guess.
It's just a head.
Yeah, well,
If you're taking it's the wrong part of your body. But thanks for bringing it up on SlabHub. Uh,
boom.
with us this week from Sector 2815, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, great to
Wonderful.
have
That
Slab Hub
that's a
Day going.
very sexy way that person says slab up, by the way. I just have to give you that.
Yeah, that's my wife. Yeah.
Okay, then.
You know, it's okay. It was better than when the first thought was to have my youngest do it, and we're like, oh, let's not have him do it.
It's only taken me like I was gonna say it's only taken me like 3 months not to laugh
Yeah, right.
immaturely whenever I hear her say slab up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here, I need you to say it kind of soft and sultry. It's just okay. Chop and drop, how you doing? Thanks for coming on, Steve in the sea, comic fam. And yes, Slab Ho, Nav Comics here. Yo ho, you're a slabbing ho. Okay, so we're gonna get into it today. Obviously, how it all goes. Joffrey, how you guys doing? DJ Links, happy to have you there in Feast as the party gets rolling here. Paul from 2815, Sector 2815 is here to share with us his comics, some of his slabs, hopefully some of his favorites, if not at least some of the ones he wants us to see. And take us on a journey of tell us a little bit about how you first we'll have you tell us a little bit about you and your channel, but then we'll have you take us on a journey with some of your slabs. Tell us about your collecting journey as we go. We'll ask you some questions along the way. And as always, about halfway through, let us know when is a good spot. And we're going to be doing our 2 live stream giveaways, one at the halfway point and one at the end. We've added some new books to the box again. So the box is actually growing and now more than half full. So, yeah.
Nice.
Comic Journey is joining us here. Welcome. Happy to have you. Good morning, good afternoon to all. And James Willie, of course. There we go. Now we can really begin. The Willies are here, and it's now time to get started. With that, Paul, tell us a little bit about Sector 2815.
Okay. My name is Paul Cook. Obviously, I am the person behind Sector 2815. I have been collecting comics for almost 50 years. I have almost 30,000 comics in my collection. I
That's a
actually,
spicy meatball.
yeah, yeah. About 2/3 of them are actually. I'm in Florida. I'm located in Florida, but about 2/3 of them are in a storage unit up in Connecticut, where I used to live. What happened was I ended up having to move rather quickly for my work, and I couldn't, bring, at the time like 20,000 comics with me, so I just left them there. And eventually, I will be reunited, and I will be making comic angels on my living room floor. But as of right now, um,
Only with Turok number ones, right?
right, exactly. But for now, they're in a safe place. If anyone is wondering, yes, it is climate controlled, the place that I have them. So they're being well taken care of. And I actually kind of have just been on YouTube and Instagram really for just about 5 or 6 months or so. I just kind of was kind of trolling around and looking at people, and then this guy, you made him Superpower Review, Kevin from Superpower Review. He actually invited me on his channel. He does a show, kind of similar to this with, what's that comic book where you show off your comics. And that's how I ended up on YouTube. And my favorite character is Green Lantern. So when I was thinking of a name for my channel, I thought, I don't want to take Sector 2814 in case there's some trademark somewhere, but I'll bet you they haven't trademarked Sector 2815. So I just kind of went one sector over, and it kind of went with my comic likes too. So that's how I ended up with Sector 2815.
That's awesome. So Green
Very cool.
Lantern would be always appealed to you early on as one of your early comic favorites, or
Yeah, Green Lantern, and then Dick Grayson. In any iteration, you could find Dick Grayson, whether it's Robin or Nightwing or even just Grayson.
right?
You know,
Oh, wow, you're hardcore.
yeah. I wasn't actually too thrilled when he actually forgot he was Grayson, but because I still remembered. But
Oh, the Rick stuff, or
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was
but yeah,
thinking
those are.
more of the spiral stuff that was kind of like
Oh yeah, yeah.
super spy.
And I grew up a DC guy, so probably about 75 to 80% of my collection is DC, but I do have some Marvel. There'll be some Marvel in my slabs today as well. So looking forward to showing some stuff off.
All right. Well, I think that's a great segue in, unless Chris, you have another starter question before we get rolling. Otherwise, throw them out. Obviously, as always, you're not shy. That's why.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll ask
All
questions
right.
and
Well, in
get
that
some
case, I'm going to
commentary
go
along the
ahead and
way.
put you into the position of honor and make you big. We're going to kick back here and let's get rolling here on Slab Hub and start showing off some slabs.
Okay, I'm going to actually start with the oldest slab in my collection. This is Adventure Comics number 59 from February 1941. It has a Jerry Siegel story inside of it, and actually there's an ad for All Star Comics number 3 in the issue as well. This I got actually through, I believe it was Comic Link. Um, the, I I had to actually not go into auctions anymore because I found that auctions can be very dangerous. Because what I was doing is I was bidding on so many things that by the time I was done, I'm like, I can't believe I bid on all those things and I won, and now I owe all this money. So I still go to the auction sites, but I usually do the buy it nows from the auction sites. If
Yes.
because it's like and when you're bidding on any one comic, it doesn't. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but it doesn't seem as much money until you realize how many you bid on and what you would owe if you won everything.
Yes.
Thank God for the make an offer buttons. All I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is that when they linger on that, and you got multiple things outlined, and they all So I'm sorry, you said when that was what, 1953? You said, or
41.
1941, February of
damn.
1941.
I was gonna say
so
53 seemed way too late for that. 41, that is a beautiful book.
It's so bright for a book that's almost 80 years.
Yeah.
It's my
I'll PM you my
80
address.
years
You
old.
just send it to me. We'll just be good, okay?
Paul, do you know who that character is on the front there? I'm not familiar with who that character.
That is our man.
Okay.
He was he was in the Justice Society of America.
Okay.
A new character of his a new iteration is actually on the show Stargirl now.
Yeah.
Rex Tyler was his name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Takes a drug, gives him superhero strength for up to 1 hour.
And he takes the Miracle. It was called Miraclo. It was a pill.
He takes some steroids. He's good for an hour.
Pretty much.
It's a little blue pill, but it only lasts an hour. But
yeah,
wonder drug. It's a wonder drug.
It was heroic Viagra
for Slab Hub. This is Bob.
It was Viagra before Viagra was Viagra.
Right.
Freaking banger book. That's right, DJ. Awesome.
Okay, the next one is going to be from 1964. This is Brave and the Bold.
Oh boy,
Brave and the Bold number 54. This is the first appearance of the Teen Titans. That was actually so early they weren't even called the Teen Titans in this issue. It was Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Robin. They would add Wonder Girl in a later issue and then actually be called the Teen Titans. But this is considered to be the first appearance of the Teen Titans.
Wow. This is a book that we've seen. This is the second time we've seen this book on Slab Hub. And
look at
each time I've sit there and go, man, why do I not own this book?
Right?
Yeah, this is a great book.
Because we looked it up the last time, and it wasn't in this realm, in a mid-grade, it's not a ridiculously expensive book, despite the success of the Teen Titans show and everything else. And it's on my list of books that it's on my radar. My problem is I keep getting distracted with some other books, but it is one that I definitely want to add one of those to my so many good books came out of the early Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, the
Series,
Brave and the
actually.
Bold and
Yeah.
Showcase, both of those when DC was basically
So many
they used
keys.
it as a tryout, as a tryout book, both of them. Showcase and Brave and the Bold, and
But yeah, that book that you're holding there, essentially, it's the start of a franchise, right? Like we can talk about the Titans show, but then how many times have the Teen Titans been in a cartoon form? And it's ongoing. Like it's not just one season. Like it's almost sad how undervalued that book is compared to what it could be when you look at other, started franchises debut issues. But yeah, like whenever I see that book, I'm always like, why do I always forget about that book? Why do I not own it yet?
Right,
But yeah, it's like, how does it keep slipping my mind? And like, it's like you said, Brave and the Bold has so many key issues, and that one, in my opinion, is arguably top 3 for most important.
yeah,
And that's a
Awesome
great
book.
grade too. Great grade.
Good.
yeah. And to your point too, Rob, is it wasn't terribly expensive. I actually bought it raw and had it graded, but it wasn't really terribly expensive raw either. So
Yeah, even as a graded book, it's still a book that has without looking at the numbers, as I want to say it's still less than $100 a grade, fair market value, which is kind of that threshold of between a high end book and a moderate book. Is when you cross that $100 a grade point.
Okay. We'll jump now to a more recent book. This is actually Detective Comics 1000. It is a Neil Adams store exclusive variant, a sketch cover. Only 1,000 were printed, and obviously
Which
it's signed.
1,000 allows 1,000 print run on DC 1000.
Right,
Or do you say it was
exactly.
1027?
No, this is what
1,000.
Detective Comics 1000. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one of those books that were so many copies of that being able to get one of those limited print runs is definitely great. And of course, Neil Adams, I mean, quintessential Batman. I mean, I know that some people say that he's not that great of a guy, but you know what? I don't care. I can separate anything from the art. And the fact of the matter is when it comes to Batman, I mean, who do you think of first and foremost, right?
Exactly. To me, Neil Adams, George Perez, and Alex Ross, those are the 3 greatest cover artists, I think, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Hard to argue.
Great.
Yeah, I love it.
And then that one, of course, signed by Neil Adams, I assume.
Yes. Yep. And they came right from his store, so you could only get them from his store at the time. So.
Right.
Let me see what else I can have. Let me do a more recent Marvel. This is Daredevil number 20. Yep, Daredevil number 25. This is Chip Zdarsky, Marco Cicchetto. This is the first appearance of Elektra as Daredevil.
Yeah, that book has had some serious heat in the last 8 to 10 months, I would say, maybe even shorter than that. I know it spiked right away when it first got released. It turned from a $5 book to a $20 book overnight. But the thing is, it's all due, in my opinion, because Zdarsky writing Daredevil, arguably the best Marvel title out there right now. Or like some people would argue everything except for ASM, but I think everyone would nod their head that Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run is spectacular.
I haven't been I don't read Daredevil, so I haven't really. I know of the character, obviously, but has he been like obviously he's in jail here on the cover.
Yeah.
Has he been like in jail this whole time? Because I know that Elektra is still running around.
Yep.
Right.
He's still in jail.
So his arc is this: he's gone to jail as a prisoner, but he's hunting and he's doing detective work on the other side of the bars while in prison, trying to find out, kind of who done it type of thing, while Elektra handles the streets for him. I think it's either the next issue coming or the issue after that. It's the end of this particular arc, and Matt Murdock will be coming out of prison. Spoiler.
Right, and then Chip Zdarsky and Mark Cucchetto are gonna roll over into Crimson Reign and continue the story, I think.
Mhm.
Right.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
And so has it. So now everybody knows. I assume he hasn't been able to keep his secret identity, so everybody now knows who Daredevil is, right?
Well, he's
You have
kept
to
his
read it and
mask
find
on
out,
the whole
Rob.
time in prison, right?
Yes, he has. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He's maintaining that Romita Jr. look. Mhm.
So he gets to keep his mask on in prison? That's crazy.
Just maintaining that tough guy look. It's not.
All right,
It's not
fair
like they recognize that he's Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on.
And DJ, don't be trolling me, DJ, about ASM.
ASM is
Okay.
the best. Just may not be great recently, but
Right.
The last two issues have been pretty good.
Okay, we talked a little while ago about Brave and the Bold, spinning out of the Brave and the Bold number 28,
Oh my.
29 and 30. This is Justice League of America number 1 from 1960.
Very nice.
I actually do have a Brave and the Bold number 28, but it hasn't been graded yet, so I couldn't bring it on.
Ooh,
It was one of my most recent purchases, actually. So it's on its way actually to get graded.
What do you speculated? It's out of curiosity.
3 or 4 probably.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
For that book. That's actually a beefy book at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Very cool. I only have a
This
29. That's all that I recently picked up, but I like robots.
Well, I have 2 of the things that I'm most proud of in my collection is with the Brave and the Bold number 28, I now have every Justice League issue from Brave and the Bold 28 up until whatever was on the stands last week.
Nice.
So I have the entire run that they did with this, starting here, and then everything after it from International to Europe to Justice League
who's going to be
Detroit.
jealous of that is Anachronic Comics. Joe's been wanting to finish his Justice League run, and that's have every issue. That's quite impressive. Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah. Paul, could you read us? I was going to say, would you mind reading us what's on the top right part of the blue label there for the kiddies that have actually never held one of those books in their hand?
Sure. It says Origin and First Appearance of Despero, and there's a letter from Roy Thomas.
Very cool.
So, but this was actually when I was young. This was one of the titles that I actually, back in the 80s, they would actually mail them to your house in this brown paper packaging. This was one of the titles that I got mailed to my house in that brown paper
crease down the middle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is why you can't get more than a 5 max out of them. Right.
Yeah, I don't see any point in cracking that slab. I think it's great the way it is.
Green Lantern up there next to Aquaman.
Yeah, we have Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Despero, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, and Flash. Who the origin actually the origin for the Justice League wasn't until a few issues later when they did it. It was either number 7 or number 9. I don't recall which one that they actually did the origin. But it's actually changed a couple of times too over the years to include Martian Manhunter. Did not include Martian Manhunter.
Change in comic books.
Imagine that.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that deaths don't stick.
I got bad news for you.
Only Uncle Ben stayed dead.
Almost choked on that one.
On Slab Hub.
So let's go back to Batman. This is Batman number 227.
Oh boy.
This is an homage to Batman number 30. Sorry, to Detective Comics number 31. The great Bob Kane cover where he's looking over the castle. And this obviously is by Neil Adams, who, really made the Dark Knight again.
Oh boy. Wow. My only question is, Paul, what's the year of release? Is that 71 or a little bit earlier?
It is December of 1970.
Okay.
As close to 1971 as you can
it's
get.
Pretty close,
without getting it right on the nose. Good job.
Yeah. Which means probably
on this show.
If this was December of 70, it probably was released August or September because they used to do them like 3 or 4 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because the date was always the date that you would take them off of the shelves.
Incredible. Who are the big appearances in that particular issue, Paul?
It really just kind of says that it's an homage cover to
Okay.
Detective Comics 31, and then there's a Robin backup. So
Yeah,
no
okay.
real key. The cover is a total key for this issue. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cover
Yeah.
key as opposed to any other kind of key to that book. It's just one of those quintessential
Yeah.
Neil Adams covers that
Yeah. It's
makes
right
you
up there
wanna-
with the Ra's al Ghul and Joker's back. Like, yeah, it's like you said, it's quintessential.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
no, next one is Ra's al Ghul.
There you go. Nice.
You like how I did that, everybody?
Yeah,
Set 'em up.
exactly.
Yeah, I like that book.
Yeah, you got a couple of them. You got to get one on your wall behind you.
Yeah, somewhere. Oh, he's over on that side now.
I feel left out.
Oh, this is
But
Batman
you
number
know what's funny is
232.
yours actually looks a little bit better, even though it's a lower grade, simply because
Mm.
my book is a pristine book,
Mhm.
but it has a massive fade on it.
Oh,
So, like, if I make myself even with you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
just a second here, so mine has this massive fade. It goes
Yeah.
there, but that's like almost the only problem with the book. Hence, it's knocked all the way down. But yours, the colors look phenomenal there on you.
it's bright. Even the Batman logo itself and the wording
Yeah.
looks so bright. Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that presents
Mm.
almost better.
Yeah. This obviously is first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. Obviously, Denny O'Neil was trying to create a new villain for the Batman. He created the eco-terrorist Ra's al Ghul, who actually his daughter appeared a couple issues earlier in a Detective Comics. But yeah, this was Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. So there's
DJ,
that
I'm not
one.
Incredible.
I'm not upstaging him. I'm showing how great by contrast, his book presents. God,
And then I swear, Chris and I
I'm
didn't
not
talk about
Chris
this, but
whipping
we
out
have
that
the
ASM one. Oh, there you go.
Man, like,
we have the
like, man, could I foreshadow this or what?
You did.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think that could be the most iconic Batman cover of all time.
Yeah,
Totally
Yeah.
agree. And besides, the funny thing is, it's not. Sorry, I was thinking something else, but it really kind of brought the Joker back to being, he wasn't just this clown anymore. He was actually a very good, a very worthy villain and a very dangerous villain. So it
redefined how we think of the Joker.
Right. Yeah,
and how the Joker
biggest game
from
changer
that point
yeah.
on. So, I mean, from that aspect, it is a huge book, and that's why you see it continuing to grow in value.
I think it's the biggest game changer that side of Crisis on Infinite Earths for the entire history of DC, outside of first appearances. But yeah, that's where we got the brand new Joker that's now makes him the #1 villain of all time. Yeah, that's iconic. Everything about that book is iconic.
Yeah, absolutely. Love this book. I wish I had more of them.
Yeah, I wish I had one.
I have 2 copies, but
oh, Rob.
And then I'll do one more Batman book.
Upstaging, DJ.
Well, actually, I lied. I'll do a couple more Batman books, but this is actually one of my favorite covers too that not a lot of people really talk about. But do you remember the time that Batman met the Beatles?
Yes. Yeah, I had that book signed by Neil Adams. Yes. Yeah. Saul, I believe, is on the front. Or they use they changed the Beatles names just a little bit.
Yep. And they called them the Oliver Twists in the book.
But yeah. Is Saul really dead?
Yeah, exactly. That was the whole thing. It was a whole takeoff on the Paul McCartney being dead. It was a whole takeoff on that, and again another Neil Adams cover, but he got to actually draw the Beatles.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love it.
Okay, I'm just gonna plow through the rest of my Batman. I have 2 more Batmans to go through. Okay. This one again is one that I love a lot. This is another Detective Comics 1000. It's Alex Ross's Batman, Detective Comics 1000.
We don't like Alex Ross on this show. No, I'm just kidding. We love Alex Ross on the show.
The master. Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm. So he did
Incredible.
another one. He did an homage to Detective Comics 27 that I got.
Yeah.
When I sent it away to be graded, it actually came back a little bit damaged. So I was a little bit bummed about that.
The slab or the book?
The book came back damaged in the slab. Like it was a
Okay.
9.8 when I sent it. When I got it back, it was like a 9.2, and there was a crease in the corner.
Yes, we've seen that kind of stuff
Yeah.
before.
Yep.
Great book.
And then the last one that I have is
Alex Ross. What a scrub.
Killing Joke. What I would even just from the back alone, it's the greatest Batman story ever told.
Mhm.
Oh,
It is the
Oh,
one in number 3,
My
the one in
mistake.
450. It is. Oh yeah, you thought it was a Killing Joke, didn't you?
I thought it was
right?
the Killing Joke.
This is
fooled
Batman
you.
3 Jokers. Number 3. This is the one in 450 variant that had all the variant covers displayed on the front cover.
Wow, 1 in 450. Wow.
Mhm.
I'll be honest, that's the first time I've ever seen that book in a 9.8. I've seen it a handful of times, and they all failed to get to 9.8.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean those books. The way I'll tell you, there was a lot of them that back cover, it got rub on them, and they just. That's like I'm waiting on my my 1 in 100s to come back, and I'm fearing that at least one of them is going to come back in 9.6 or 9.4.
Yeah. You don't have to call me out on it, Nav. I see what you're doing down there, Nav. I feel like I need to back myself up. Okay, so Paul, if you could flip that around just for a second. That's why I thought it was the Killing Joke.
Mhm.
Completely different card. I don't know what you're
Come
talking about.
on, the Red Hood down here.
God, Chris, what do
That
we do
is
with you?
that is one of the best stories ever told, though. I have to agree. Killing Joke.
Well, I like the fact that they've slowly just decided, forget it. We're not going to make it be an outlier. We're just bringing more and more pieces of it in to the point where now it's pretty much continuity at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So
Okay.
are we in a good spot to pause for a giveaway? Are we
Absolutely.
set up the Batman?
Absolutely.
Let's do a
Absolutely.
giveaway here. All right.
Sounds good.
So let me go ahead and bring in our share this. Meanwhile, somebody think of a good hashtag, Paul, that we're going to use for this, because I don't have one thought up off the top of my head. Let's bring in our StreamYard tool to giveaway. We'll add this to the stream, and go ahead and give us our hashtag. What do you want to do?
Let's do brightest day. Hashtag brightest day.
Brightest day. Oops. There's no drawings, but that's okay. There's big, that's what you're going to do, and then I'll hit my redraw. So that's what we're going to do.
Yes, Adrian, I'm wrong. Three Jokers started off really good, and then it turned into not the Killing Joke.
Hashtag hand play. Wow, DJ. That's man, things move faster than I can click on them. There it is.
Brightest day.
Yeah.
Okay. And while everyone, after you put in your hashtag, please hit that like button. Please head over or check out the link to Paul's YouTube channel. Please consider subscribing.
And his Instagram. They're both down below.
And the IG, yeah.
Oh, look at that. If I hit the ahead time, now all the entries are popping in as I go. I did not know that. That's beautiful.
It's like a bright day for you.
I'm learning something. That's right. We got 11 out of 19 viewers. Hashtag brightest day. Get your in there. We got about another 10 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and do our poll. It's good. We're going to do a 6-book poll.
Everybody
is kung fu fighting. We got new books in here. New old books in here. Some books I've gone out and acquired just for the giveaway box. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and draw now. Chop
Chop
and
and
Drop
Chop and Drop.
2013. Congratulations. All right, Chop and Drop. Let me go ahead and switch this like this. And we're going to go ahead and do our giveaway. Paul, since you're the guest here, you can, for the first round giveaway here, you're going to get to do the picking. So you can pick either a number from the front, a number from the back, or we can go back and forth. And you're going to pull. We're going to do 6 pulls, and everything that Chop and Drops gets is all going to be your fault, good or bad.
Okay. Okay, let's do 6 from the front.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the front. Book is Captain America, issue 600. Look at that cover. Awesome cover.
Love it. Bucky and a Winter Soldier. Love it.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's a great book. Nice round number.
Yeah, 3 from the back.
Pick number 6 got 600. Interesting. 1, 2, 3 from the back. Non-stop Spider-Man, issue number 1. Spider-Man on cocaine. Let's go.
He's restarting that up without Chris Bacalo. Whatever it is. Okay, let's do 10 from the front.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. G.I. Joe Special Missions, first issue.
Number 1.
Congratulations. Newsstand variant.
There you go.
Okay, we got 3 more.
Okay, let's do the very last comic in the box.
Scooby-Doo team up with Yogi Bear. Chop and Drop, as always, is a kid's book. You can choose to keep or pass. Type it in there. If you choose to pass, then I'll grab the last book in the box.
It is a DC.
I'll put it off to the side for just a second.
Okay.
While we wait for Chop and Drop to let us know.
Let's do 10 from the back.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 from the back. Oh, a recent book.
Nice.
Star Wars, The High Republic, issue 7, first appearance of I don't know the name of the character, but the lady in white there. You're going to keep the team up with Scooby-Doo and Yogi Bear. Perfect. Okay. Last book then. Should we do a back and forth?
Yeah, do a back and forth.
All right. You just tell me when.
Yeah. Stop.
All right. Hellfire. The David Nakayama, one of the magazine covers.
I love those.
Excalibur, the Hellfire Club Gala. Congratulations there. Excalibur number 21.
Congrats, Chop and Drop.
Great set of books. All right.
It's a great cover.
I'll set those aside. And Chop and Drop, just to be sure, in case I don't have it, make sure you hit me up on Instagram or at robs.fatstax@gmail.com with your ship to address. All right. And come on, post it. There we go. Those are now said and tagged. Beautiful. Let's go back into the action, the hot slab action.
Okay. I'm going to start the second round off with one I wanted to make sure I got in. You may actually recognize this one, Rob.
Oh, phenomenal. Did you won that from me?
I did. This is the last Ronin number 1. So much stuff going for this issue is 1, it is the Peace Momoko variant. 2, it is signed by Kevin Eastman. 3, it is remarked by Kevin Eastman.
With the rare Master Splinter remark. Because most of the remarks are turtles. He usually charges extra to get a Master Splinter remark added to it.
Mm-hmm. And the last thing is, I'm sure you guys have probably noticed, but it's a 9.9.
Sweet.
That's completely random because it didn't. You got that through my eBay auction, right? Or eBay
Instagram.
sale. Oh, was it
Instagram.
Instagram? I couldn't. I
Yep.
remember I had it listed in both places. I couldn't remember where I ended up selling. Okay, so you got it through Instagram. Perfect. Cool. That means you got a
Right.
better deal on it than if you bought it on eBay.
Yeah. And I remember you telling me, we were talking about it, and you said, you know what, you thought that it would grow on you. It just kind of didn't grow on you the way you thought it would.
Yeah.
And, you know, so.
It was an impulse buy, and you know, it was great that I got it, and I enjoyed it for as little time as I had it, but it just wasn't my thing, and I was happy to move it on. And makes Panda jealous because Panda wanted that book, and for a while I was holding it for him, and then he just had so many other things going on he couldn't do it. So now he knows where that book went. He can always try to fight you for it someday.
Yeah, this is actually the only 9.9 I own in my collection too. So it's just, it has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a great book. I mean, unfortunately, it's the magazine size holder, which CGC is a little bit wonky on, but you know, it's a 9.9, and all those things, like you said, are going for it. It's phenomenal. Congratulations. It's a great pickup. Yeah. Thank you for picking that up.
No, thank you. So, okay. I want to move now onto my favorite artist, which is George Perez. This is Noon Teen Titans number 39. This is just, to me, this is just a great cover. It's so minimal, but it just says so much. I love the way you know the costumes are hanging off of the title.
Just the whole thrown off and cast them off and walk away.
This is actually, I know people like to do first appearances, but this is actually the last appearance of Dick Grayson as Robin in this book.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah,
that is a key, considering how well that character has changed and how now ingrained he is into his new persona. That it's not like a temporary thing, and he's going to come back to that mantle ever, right?
No, there's no going back at this point.
Right. And I bought this on eBay, and I actually bought it as a 9.8 because, one, I love the book, but two, because of the white cover. You buy a raw thing and then you try to send in
the last Ronin followed by the last Dick.
Yeah. And the whole story with George Perez and how he ended up on Noon Teen Titans is kind of interesting too. He was working for Marvel, and he was doing the Avengers at the time, and he was coming to DC, and he wanted to do Justice League of America. And they told him, you know what, right now we still have this guy Dick Dillon is doing Justice League of America. How about you do this with Marv Wolfman, the Noon Teen Titans? George Perez took the assignment thinking it was only going to last 6 issues. And then once he started on it, unfortunately, Dick Dillon ended up passing away, and he ended up doing both the New Titans and Justice League at the same time. And obviously, he's stuck with the Titans, you know, and that's really kind of what he became known for. So,
yeah, great.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm a huge George Perez fan. Probably my favorite cover of George Perez is the JLA Avengers. Just because of all the work that that had to go into actually doing this cover, you know, and that's only half of it. You know, you got the other half too.
Yeah. Every time I see covers like that, I just can't imagine. It's like, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, how big was the original piece that he worked on that they shrunk down to fit that cover? Like,
yeah,
it's you know, that's just nuts.
Yeah, and I look at this and I say it's no wonder that he's retired. It probably drove him crazy, you know, to try to do it. No, but this is one of my all-time favorite covers.
I think I just read someplace that George Perez, they're sending out an announcement, but the last opportunity for sketch cover or for sketches and stuff from him, because his eyesight is failing, is getting bad, and so his management just announced like there's an upcoming signing and sketch opportunity, and it's potentially the last unless his eyes get better, which I've never seen anybody's eyes get better. That they're pretty much he'll be done doing sketches. So unfortunate.
He was supposed to come to MegaCon this year, but he ended up canceling along with a lot of other people, obviously because of the Delta variant. But I was really looking forward to seeing him here. So
yeah.
That's one cover we'll never see homaged. And and also later in that mini series, the Superman cover too also is one of my favorites as well. Yeah.
Holding Thor's hammer and the shield.
Yeah, holding Mjolnir and the shield. I think it's
Yeah.
just one of those moments that's cool that Marvel and DC decided to let it happen that way.
Right. So then just the last Marv Wolfman, you mentioned this too, Chris. It's like you were like you knew, like you mentioned this a little while ago too. My favorite series of all time. Well, that and Kingdom Come probably, but such a game changer for not only for DC but for the comic industry as a whole. It really kind of and again, this is a wraparound cover as well.
Right. Yep, and a lot of iconic covers came out of that miniseries as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, how many?
Never heard of this series. Was this important for some reason?
it had just a small impact on the DC universe.
Didn't do much though. You didn't miss anything.
Right. They put it all back. Decades later, they put it all back. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like people never stay dead. These events never stay
the
same. So let's see what. Oh, okay. Let's do this one next. One of my favorite Marvel books.
Oh boy.
Oh, with the character Lego.
Yep, Wolverine #1 with the CGC Wolverine label.
Banana cover.
Yep. The negative space Christopher cover.
Yeah. Jeez. What number is that one?
There was 3,000, and this one was 2373. And they actually put that in the label. I was surprised that they actually put the number in the label.
I always like it when they do that. Just to...
Yeah. That's just going to be one of those covers right there. 20 years down the road, and someone's going to pull it up, and everyone's going to know exactly what it is, where it came from, what con it's affiliated with, what's it out of, and because, in my opinion, that's probably the most famous of the negative space ones.
Mm-hmm.
And timing is everything, obviously, with that book too.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because it's obviously not the first and it's not the last, but it's definitely one of the biggest of his negative space covers, if not the biggest, for sure.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of copying recently. We recently had J. Scott Campbell doing
Rogue
Find Success with the Rogue, and David Nakayama did a series of them for the
Strange Academy,
for the Illuminati group.
Yeah.
And he just did one recently too. For Moon Knight #1 was his latest one, I believe.
Yeah, but that's.
But he did. The other one that I liked that he did was the Star Wars, the Luke Skywalker one, the orange one.
Yeah,
I love that one. I'm also not a fan of bananas. All right. Growing up, I was mostly a DC guy, but there was one book that I had that I just constantly read over and over and over again to the point where I ended up having to throw it away. It was so bad, but I ended up picking up it again. This is...
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. I can just, there's certain things that happen in your life that you can just remember. Like I can remember reading and seeing the last panel in this where he's got Gwen Stacy cradled and he's like arm to the, to the sky, and it's just something that I constantly remember, from my Spidey butt from my childhood. So,
yeah, believe it or not, that's a book I don't have in my collection.
Really?
I don't have it either. I have the one after.
Yeah. It's not that it's not on my radar. It's just that every time I've gone to acquire one, it's gone out of the range where I've been willing.
It's a big boy book. Let's be honest. At this point, you have to be a serious ASM collector and any grade at this point.
I am, but
to pick it up. You're not that serious.
Oh, fuck you! Just because I don't have 8 of the first 10 books, and to the point where I can't even remember which ones I have.
Then what do we call serious?
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
But that
Yeah,
also though
that's
tells me, Rob, that you have 2 more of the first 10 books than I have. So
Yeah, but Chris is sitting there. He's got so many of the first 10, he doesn't even know which ones he has.
But yeah, that's again. We talked about iconic. The book that you have in your hand changed Spider-Man forever.
Mhm.
Like moving forward, it even changed things for Marvel because we know the story that Stanley apparently wasn't aware of what was happening with the title and the whole death of Gwen kind of thing. And so yeah, that's
And
it's just I think personally I think that's all bogus. But Stan told that story to the day he died. But yeah, it's so important. It's so important.
Mhm.
it is, and I mean, you'd like to say that it's one of those things that you can argue that sometimes characters stay dead, but despite the fact that they've brought back Gwen Stacy in various forms, they've never brought back the original Gwen
No,
Stacy.
she
And
is still dead. Yeah,
yeah,
that Gwen is still gone. Mhm.
Mhm.
and so that's one of those things that, and it has been, not just the fact that the character died and that there were consequences, even when you're trying to do your best as a hero, but for Spider-Man, whose character was already defined by the tragedy of Uncle Ben, the further tragedy of Gwen's dying
And
and his
Kevin
inability
Stacy.
to save her, then Captain Stacy, and
Mhm.
stuff is just leads us to so much where he is today. When you sit there and you realize here's a character who really puts the weight of the world on himself and feels like he has to try to save everyone, and if he doesn't, that he's failed. um,
Absolutely.
so it's really a character defining impact to Spider-Man. So very good book.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, Nav, go sit in the corner and
No,
put your
we don't say that man's name on this show.
put yourself in the
Um,
corner.
this is from April 1968.
Oh yes,
That's a great cover.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
This was
So
the first cover of Captain America in his own title. I was always kind of confused as to, since he had a title in the 40s, why they didn't continue that numbering, but they chose to take Tale of Suspense and give him that numbering instead. It didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, this continued the numbering from Tale of Suspense, obviously.
was that
Right.
under the Marvel banner? I don't think it was under the Marvel
No,
was
it
banner.
was still
timely.
time. It was still timely, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But a handful of timely titles still carried over when they switched over to the Marvel brand after the launch of the Fantastic Four. But yeah, at least they gave it a nice round number. The
Right.
big premiere issue with issue
Mhm.
100. At
Right.
least they the Incredible Hulk didn't get that treatment at least, or didn't get that
Right.
treatment the way that
Yeah.
Cap did. But yeah, I love that cover personally. I think I've had that book in a 4.5. But yeah, that's great. And for 8.5 with all those dark colors around, at the
Mhm.
top and the green on the spine, that's very nice. Well done.
I'm just curious now. Now I got to take a because we haven't done it. We haven't done one yet this show. Let's take a look. Let me pull up the magic interwebs.
Okay.
Log in here. Let's see. Captain America.
I would say $100 per grade.
Number 100. In an 8.5. You would be wrong, sir. So we're looking right now. Let's see. Heritage auction in July.
Uh-oh.
1440.
Okay.
For that 1100, 1200, 1000, 1300. So it looks like we're north of $1,000 to somewhere between $1,000 to $1,400. What it it's up and down quite a bit in that range, but right
Mhm.
now that's who's about the market for it. Very nice book. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay.
If you, Chris, just for if you go drop below a 5.5, that's where you're about $100 a book.
Okay. Makes sense.
or $100 a grade.
My next one is going to be a Jack Kirby, but not Jack Kirby in Marvel, Jack Kirby in DC.
Oh,
Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Number 134. This actually, if for those who were around at the time in the 70s, one of the biggest news story, the biggest story in the comic book world was when Jack Kirby moved from Marvel to DC. A few years ago, Bendis and Romita came from Marvel to DC, and it was big news. It would have paled in comparison to the news of Kirby moving from Marvel to DC. And when he moved to DC, people were wondering, what was he going to do? What title was he going to do? People thought, Superman or Batman. Was he going to take on the, one of the big characters? And he ended up moving to Jimmy Olsen's, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, so that he could create all of his Fourth World stuff.
Right.
And this is actually his second issue on Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, that is considered to be the first appearance of Darkseid. However, Darkseid appears on a screen, on a little tiny screen in one panel at the end. Yeah. It's really, I think it's Forever People 1 where he actually.
Darkseid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Darkseid is.
But this is actually such a classic. Also, this is a classic Neil Adams cover too.
Yeah.
But and then another interesting thing was the DC, the editors at DC were worried that Jack Kirby was going to draw Superman too Marvel-like. So they actually had another artist that redrew Superman's face over Jack Kirby. His name was Murphy Anderson, and he would redraw Superman's face so that Superman didn't look too Marvel-like. It stopped after a couple months, but they did it when he first started drawing.
That's hilarious.
We brought in one of the premier artists, but we're going to have somebody else draw over his drawing because
over our franchise character.
Right. Yep.
Paul, if you wouldn't mind again, would you mind reading the portion of the right side of the blue label there to let us know what's inside that issue?
Sure. It says first appearance of Darkseid and cameo on last page.
Okay. So yeah.
Very good.
I know there's a few issues that vie for like the quote unquote first appearance.
It's Superman's ex-pal. It's not even his current pal.
Yeah,
right.
Ex-pal.
Well, because of what he's doing to him on the cover. I mean, come on.
Right. He broke up.
With friends like this, who needs enemies?
That's right.
Yeah, Forever People 1, I think, is probably the one that really kind of has the dark seed. But you know what? I'll take it. If they're going to put it on a label for me, I'll take it. But Forever People 1 really kind of has the first appearance of Darkseid. So, okay. I just got a couple more left. So
beautiful.
This is going to go all the way back to 1964. Sorry, 1944. This is Green Lantern number 11.
Oh boy!
And look at that. On that a 6.0 too.
Wow. Yeah, this is one of my latest purchases, and you know, Rob and Chris, to get anything before 1950 and more and higher than like a 5, you're pretty much.
Yeah.
You just hit a home run.
Yeah, pretty much. Even anything over a 4, really. You're like the 5s are like awesome, and anything beyond that is just like every time I see a book, when I look at the census and I find out that there's like a 9 something, I'm just like blown. Well, really? How is that even flipping possible? But this, you know what? And I love the Alan Scott costume for Green Lantern more than any of the other Green Lanterns. I don't know what it is. I'm not a Green Lantern fan at all, but Alan Scott's Green Lantern to me always just had the best look.
I always liked that collar on top of the cape there, like that. It's just like I'm not going to be able to look this way. I can only look forward, but I always thought it was cool as hell.
Yeah, you're right, Shop. Amazing colors. That is just a beautiful book.
I don't know how many orange covers I've ever seen before made before the 50s.
The pages white to off-white, is that what it says?
Pages are cream to off-white.
Oh, cream to off-white. Okay. So the interior pages aren't as nice as the exterior, but hey, we slabbed it. Who cares? Right. Now it's just about the sexy.
Right. And so now my goal is now, yours is to get the first 10 ACMs, ASMs. Right. Mine is to get the complete run of the original Green Lantern series.
Wow. That's awesome.
Knowing that I will never ever get number 1, obviously, but
well,
Well, the Hal Jordan could be.
You could always
reachable.
Find somebody who has it and kill them and
easy.
How do you think? How do you think I'm going to get my first 10 ASMs? Chris is going to go mysteriously missing, and
That'll be a hell of a fight.
Okay, and then
we're going to go out curling. There'll be a gigantic curling accident as a piece
actually,
of
I lied. I
granite,
have
the granite flies up off the ice and smashes his head.
We'll be hunting
lied,
for
I have-
moose.
I have two more. I
All
lied.
right. That's all right.
This one is
We're
from
enjoying
1950 and 1951. This is Batman number 62.
Ooh,
Very nice.
This is actually the origin of Catwoman.
I was looking at one of those the other day too.
Yeah,
Bastard.
not her first appearance, but this is her origin. This was
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
time
yeah.
she was called Melina Kyle.
Yeah.
61 issues later, they give us the origin.
Mhm.
So nice.
Yeah.
Damn it. I'm jealous.
Yeah. 4.5. That's really, really good.
Okay, and then my last one, and Chris, I swear, I don't know how you did it today, but the first Hal Jordan.
Hold on. It's the missile crisis. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a
This
3.0. Wow.
showcase number 22, and like Justice League, when I got this, I completed my collection for Hal Jordan from showcase 22 all the way up to whatever Green Lantern was on the shelves last week. So
Wow.
Nice. Oh my
Wow. Is that the crown jewel of your collection?
it is until I get my Brave and the Bold number 28 back. Then they'll be
Yeah,
competing
yeah,
crown
yeah.
jewels. But this is
No,
really,
it's not really competing. I'm sorry. Let's be honest.
yeah. I mean, since I'm tucked to
Brave and
28.15,
Bold.
to me, this is really a
Yeah, but Brave and the Bold 28. Come on.
I don't know. I kind of like the one in his hands. I got to be honest. Maybe it's just
Oh,
because
it's a nice
yeah.
runner-up.
just because Hal
I mean,
Jordan is
it's
the
like
Green Lantern I
it's
grew
like
up with.
saying,
But wow.
yeah, I'd go out with her. I'd even marry her. But at the end of the day, though, I mean, Brave and the Bold 28. You're still like,
yeah.
I'd
I'll take
do
either
her.
one. I'm actually, I just feel lucky to have both of them. So
He'd even cook her breakfast. Okay, look, I'm not gonna call it an Uber before she gets a chance to eat something. But at the end of the day,
Yeah, that's
no, that is
wow.
Paul. I will say that you definitely delivered a fabulous set of slabs there. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing those with us today.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, I mean, for those of you guys who don't know, originally Nick was scheduled to be on the show this week, and he had something come up where he was unable to join us for a second week, and sent out the bat signal in a few chat groups, and Paul reached out and said that, yeah, he'd be happy to come on the show, and
Delivered.
yeah, I mean,
Delivered. That's it.
Nick who? That's all I'm saying. Great. Oh man. And what would you say is that like the majority of your slab collection, or do you have how many books
That
do you
is-
say you?
I want to say about 250 slabs.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So we
Yeah.
may
I
reach
can-
out again.
I can relate to that. Yeah. Maybe if you're interested in coming on down in the future, we can have you on again.
Absolutely.
Chris kept doing that to us. He said, "Oh yeah, I have some slabs," and he thought that he like showed off his greatest the first week, but then it turns out, he just kept bringing more and more, and you go, "Oh, you." So they're all great, and we love all slabs almost
Mhm.
equally, almost all equally. We don't like Nick Spencer slabs, but
We don't say that guy's name.
yeah, damn 250.
Unless
What are you
it's
talking about?
I was gonna say unless it's ASM 55, we don't
Yeah.
talk about it.
250 is a nice start. I don't know what you're talking about, chop and drop. No, but those are, yes, bravo. All right, it's that point of the show where I think it's time for us to do another giveaway. What do you say, gents?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's bring in our magic tool and Slab Hub here, and let's see here. We're just gonna do Green Lantern. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hashtag Green Lantern. Get that in there. We'll do another 6 books pull and get us on our Saturday way. And thanks again, Paul. While we're waiting for people to put that hashtag in, why don't you if you have anything that's coming up on the show in the next week or two, on the channel in a week or two?
Yeah, I have my. I'll be doing the Marvel news from the latest Marvel solicitations, and then I just recently got in a couple new books into my collection. I'm going to be doing a show called Guess That Key. I'm going to have some, excuse me, some guests on, and it's going to be kind of like a 20 questions type thing, where they'll get 10 questions, yes or no questions, that they'll ask me, and at the end of the 10 questions, they have to guess what key it is that I recently got in.
Oh, that sounds very cool. When does that start
Yeah.
off?
I haven't actually scheduled it. I just got the
Okay.
books in, so I'm going to be looking for people. So I may reach out to you, Rob, or you, Chris, to be on. So
Very cool. Yeah.
Sounds
Excellent.
good.
And is it going to? I mean, I know sometimes it's kind of high. You gonna do it's like a 1-person thing, or you gonna do like a
no, I'm going
a
to do like
dual
4. I'll
people
have
trying
like
to
four,
compete
four
against?
yeah, like 4
Oh,
or 5
very
guests,
cool.
even. Yep.
That sounds awesome. I definitely am interested in checking out that show when that kicks off the ground. I have to make sure you guys give Sector 2815 a follow there. Again, information down below. Check out his YouTube channel. Subscribe so that way you know when that show Guess That Key starts up. And then, of course, also you can follow him on Instagram. It's linked down below. Of course, Chris, the comic vet, his information down below. At this point, most of you guys should be subscribed to him, but if you're not, shame on you. Chris, of course, hosting was gone from comics in his car on Wednesdays instead to hosting a fun community hangout on Wednesdays, showing off new books that everybody picks up. I love that show, and it's earlier in the day than a lot of the other stuff, which is great. Not early day, but it's still, it is for me on the West Coast. But I love it. Chris, what do you got coming up this week?
Mark and I just put together 2 cool guys swap picks for release for tomorrow. I will have a mystery box to open up for Mystery Box Mondays. It's actually from KRS Comics, and you can
I love KRS Comics.
Like Rob just said, Wednesdays I'm hosting open hangout, open invite for everyone to come on to show us what you got from New Comic Book Day. Just come out, hang out, show what you got, have a little laugh, and we go from there. But yeah, and then next Saturday,
6:30 Eastern. Love it.
Yes.
Great. And then Monday I'll have mail call.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. All right. Let's go ahead and pull our drawing here. Our draw on our winner for our next set of pulls. J.A. Winner, chicken dinner. Congratulations.
Nice.
All right.
Congrats.
Let me go ahead and remove that from the thread there. Let me go ahead and make myself into the big mode. All right. Chris.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
All right, let's go like
6
28 from the no. Let's go 2 from the front. I had you for a second there, didn't I?
We have Batman 50 signed by El Garza.
Is that a Coliseum of Comics exclusive too?
It is. It is a Coliseum of Comics exclusive, the black and white exclusive, signed by El Garza. Congratulations there.
All right, let's go 8 from the back.
8 from the back. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Number 8 is Thor 353.
Ooh. Some Walt Simonson love.
Finale
Boom.
of the Sauter Saga. Congratulations.
All right, let's take the first book on the front.
My God. We have giant size Aquaman signed by Norm Rotmund.
Awesome.
I'm pulling out the signed books here.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's go 5th from the rear. You see what I'm doing here, everybody?
Suicide
yes.
Squad #1.
It kind of looks like J. Scott Campbell, even though I know it's not. Kind of looks like.
Yep. So that's 4 books. So 2 more.
All right, since I knocked off Paul's 2815, let's go a little front to back.
Oh, okay.
And now. Oh, yes.
Punchline
Nice.
#1, the one shot. This is the
I like Batman's eyes there.
I know it's kind of like a Department of Truth eyes that he's got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who did the cover on here. I can't read the signature. I apologize, but one minimal trade variants. Congratulations there. And last book.
Last book.
Front
Let's
to
go
back.
front to back to finish it. I've been pulling out a lot of good books out there. And now. Let's keep that train going.
Batman
Yes.
Confidential #1.
Awesome. Well, J.A., congratulations.
That is a nice set of books there. Congratulations indeed. All right, we'll put this cover back on. Slide that off to the side. So J.A., reach out to me via Instagram. My information is down below, or email me at robs.fatstax@gmail.com with your contact information, where you want these shipped to, and we'll get that out. Of course, shipping in the US or Canada is free. Outside of there, we have to talk. Awesome. Okay, so guys, that was a great show. Again, let me make us all equals, because damn it, equality for all, right? Paul, thank you very much. That was a great set of books. I really appreciate you not only coming on the last minute, but bringing in the
Batman keys, Green Lantern keys.
Never go ass to mouth.
JSA keys.
Yeah. This is bringing in the Slab Hub action
Justice League keys, yeah.
All right. So anyways, yeah, bringing in some great books, amazing books. Thank you very much for showing and sharing with us all. Chris, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Appreciate your knowledge and insight bringing into the show. And all of you who have taken the time to enjoy this journey and watch with us, can't thank you all enough. You really make the show possible, because otherwise I'm just talking to 2 other people. So there you are. Thank you guys all very much. Very much. Look at that. Damn, I should have had Chris make ripples.
Oh man, that's not awkward at all.
And on that note, boys and girls, children of all ages, collect what you want. Don't listen to me, because I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next week. Oh, next week's guest. Panda.
Awesome.
Ooh, that'll be good.
Panda Awesome 316 will be our guest next week. Until next time.